So hello everyone, it is your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and today we're gonna get into ranking all of my palettes, or I'm sorry, top 3 in each category palette videos. So I'm just putting all the palettes together since it's only 3 in each category. Now I actually did pretty good, and for the most part stuck to only 3 palettes in each category. So what I did was I did YouTuber collabs, I did indie, I did affordable and drugstore, I did YouTuber brands, I did makeup artist brands, and then I did luxury and high-end. So I'm gonna start from luxury and high-end, then I will probably do like YouTuber brands and YouTuber collabs and makeup artist brands, and I end with affordable and whatever, because those are sitting over in the bed, so it's just easier to do it that way. Okay, so let's get started. So my top 3 in each category, I got one just because I'm putting high-end and luxury together, and I only have one high-end palette, and I don't know if you consider this brand high-end or not, but you know, you'll see it when you see it. So my first one, of course, is Pat McGrath, because of course Mother Pat has to be in here. So I have the Mothership Mega Celestial Divinity palette. Now I know some people didn't like this one from last year, but they were talking about the new one from this year is better. I like this one better than the one from this year. I mean, I like the sparkly shades in the one from this year, but I just like the color story of this one better. I feel like a lot of people were just pissed off because like they had bought the Star Wars ones, and then like she came out with the Star Wars colors in here and just added like 6 more shades down the middle here, and that's why they didn't like it, because they already had it and they felt some type of way. I don't know if that's how they felt or not, or I don't know if that's why, but I like this color story. And I like this palette just fine. Only thing is she doesn't give you that many mattes ever, so that would be my only complaint with this. Is like it's not that many mattes, but you know, like when you own as many palettes that I do, it doesn't really matter. And it's not like she didn't give you darker mattes. Like 2 of the 3 mattes in here are darker. You just got this one light matte here, so at least you have a dark matte to go with all the shimmers that you have, which I can appreciate. So I really like this palette. I like to pair it with the Jackie Aina palette from ABH. That's a good palette combination. Shout out to Morgan Turner for pointing that out, because like I hadn't like looked at it that deep, but like it does look really similar and pretty nice. So this is my one of 3 category. Plus I tried to pick a more affordable one, as opposed to like I could have put Utopian Dream in here, which I was thinking about doing, but I was like, that's $129. I don't know if, sorry, $125. I don't know if people want to spend $125, but I was like, I figured if I put a more affordable one in there, so in case you do like it, you can go look at her more affordable one for this year, and you can kind of see the format and layout and the way of it is and everything. But that's not the one I wanted to put in here, so I didn't. Next, we have the Natasha Denona Circle Loco palette. Again, remember, my palettes don't look the same as yours are going to. I redid mine with some of the shades from the Tropic palette. So this is what mine actually looks like compared to what yours will look like. I felt like mine gives a more cotton candy vibe, where she has like some oranges in here that I took out, and that's why mine looks the way it does. So I put, what did I put in here? I put this shade in here. I put this shade in here, if I remember correctly. And I put this blue shade and this light purple. So I put those shades in here to give the more cotton candy effect I have. I really like the color story of this palette. I think it's cute. I mean, I know why she did the orange or whatever, because it goes with the Circle Local theme, but I prefer the way my palette looks, and I'm happy that, you know, I made it look the way I wanted it to, because it is more aesthetically pleasing to me. And if you all don't know anything about me, I don't like orange eyeshadow as a general rule. Like the way Nikki Tutorial doesn't like green eyeshadow is the way I don't like orange eyeshadow, as I sit here with orange-esque looking eyeshadow, but it faded. It was more of a coral shade. It was not orange. Anyway, the last palette I have in the luxury category is Natasha Denona. The Natasha Denona Love palette. If you all did not know, this is my favorite mini palette, the Love palette. Funny thing is, when I first got it, I didn't like it, but after using it for a while, this is like easily my favorite one. Then I would pick the retro one she came out with. Then I would do Sunrise. And then I would do Zendo last, because the formula that doesn't seem to be the same as these. It's not bad, it's just, you know, when I have one I like better, I would just rather reach for it. So Love's my favorite. Unfortunately, this one is being discontinued. Like, it's been on sale on Sephora for quite a while now, so I actually went and grabbed another one just to make sure I wasn't without it. That's how much I like this as a Natasha Denona palette. And as you see, I already own this, and this one is kind of abused, if you can't tell. I've been loving like that purple shade there. I usually reach for this for purples. I don't really reach for it for like the reds in it, even though it seems to be heavily red, but I do a lot of purple looks with this one, just because I really like this cream to powder purple shade, and I like the silver and this purple shade here. But I have done a couple of red looks with it. I think I did a red look and a purple look for Valentine's Day when this initially came out, but this is my favorite Natasha Denona midi palette. And then you saw my favorite big size palette. I like that one, Safari, and what's the other one, Trio Chrome. Okay, so the only high-end palette I have to talk about is the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz. I don't really reach for a lot of my high-end palettes, believe it or not. I usually use for luxury, indie, or like affordable type palettes when I do makeup looks. So this is what it looks like. As y'all know I love mauvey cool tone stories. So this one definitely spoke to my heart. I actually I want to mix this with the new nudes and see how it looks along. I also want to mix this with Mercury Retrograde and see how that'll work out, because I feel like these shades with the mint pastel shade in there might be a nice combination to try out. So I'm going to try those out for sure. But yeah, this is the only one I have to talk about in the high end. I feel like I haven't really been liking a lot of high end shadows I've seen. I bought a few, but I haven't liked them. And since we got other categories, that's why you can see the Patch of Time one. Because trust me, it's in here. It's not directly in here. Oh, next I have the YouTuber brands. So let's get into those. So it's only 3 YouTuber brands I feel like I shop from pretty frequently. So I feel like the first 2 you ain't gonna be surprised about. The other one you might be surprised about. But yeah, y'all know we are Kirsten Dominique stands over here. We stand for Dominique Cosmetics. I just gave y'all a review on the new Coral Blossom palette, comparing it to the Utopian Dream, because I feel like they look similar in tone. So if you want to check out that video, I'll try to remember to link it up above. I make no promises. You can search my channel and check Battle of the, and I have a whole playlist with all of them on there, and it should be on there. Or you can just type in, I think, Dominique Cosmetics, and it should pop up that way. I'm not sure. I've never done it, but this is what she looks like. Random side note. As you can see, it definitely gives Utopian Dream vibes just a little bit with this pop of purple and the corals in here like Mother had in hers. It's over there in this pretty little packaging, so we're not going to open it up, but these are 2 of my favorite palettes, so I figured I'd show you 2 of my favorite palettes from the brand. Unfortunately, she said my Celestial Storm is being discontinued and they're not bringing it back out. It's out of stock on her website and it's not coming back. But I did put one of these in my recent giveaway I just did, and I actually mailed it off today. So this is Friday, December the 10th. I mailed it off. So somebody got this, and then the giveaway I did prior to that one, somebody got this too. I think this is still on Sephora's clearance rack. Do not quote me. It was like 22 bucks. I love this palette. This is like literally one of my favorite ones. Y'all see why. Like, if you cover this up, this just gives me like Xenon Space Girl of 21st century vibes. It gives me the Tropic palette. I'm sorry, the Circle Local palette that I remade that I just showed y'all. Those are vibes it gives me. And then you add that, it's like you have the little warmth for the people who like warm tones. I'm more of a cool tone girl, so I was fine if the palette just cut off like right here, and maybe gave me like some darker mattes to go with the tones that they put up here. But it's fine the way it is. I really like this palette. I'm so sad she's getting rid of it. I've done a few looks with it. It's like now it makes me not want to do more looks with it, because it's like I know you all won't be able to get it. But I think the Club Daddy palette from Artist Couture is really similar to this palette. And then he has another one that he came out with at the same time Kirsten did, which is the Midnight Maven, I believe, and it has a similar color story. Plus you can probably find somebody selling their BoxyCharm one that they got. So you can still get your hands on a similar color story and Kirsten's formula. Just have to look on Mercari. But Berries and Cream is another one I truly love. I think this was 50% off during the holiday too, so I don't know if she's going to come out with new palettes and new formulas, and that's why she's getting rid of these. I think Berries and Cream is going out too. I don't know, she didn't say that, but she said in her declutter video that Celestial Storm was leaving, which just crushed my soul. Kirsten, you crushed my soul. But this is my second favorite palette from the brand easily. And then she's getting rid of Latte and Latte 2 as well. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on there. I guess she's gonna come out with some new color stories and warm tone palettes or whatever. But this is another one of my favorite color stories. You know, I got that pop of blue, and then it has like a lot of my purples that I love and adore. So I'm happy about that. Plus you get a black, and then you get a dark brown too. So if you're a person who likes to use black on the outer V or black as liner, you can do that. And then you have this shade if you just want to use a dark brown as opposed to a black. So I'm really here for it, and I love this palette. These are my 2 Dominique Cosmetic palettes easily. Then of course y'all know who coming up next. Manny MUA with Lunar Beauty Honey. So I got the 2 different palettes. Y'all know Strawberry Dream is my palette. Like, this is everything to me. This is what made me get into his brand, because when I saw Like This Drag, I was like, that's interesting. But y'all know I'm not really into neutrals. I'm more of like balls to wall, all in color, as you can see on my eyes now. If you're new, hi. But this color story is just everything to me. I got my pops of blue, I got my pinks, and I still have like berry tone shades to use, and this iridescent shade here is everything. I was sad that mine showed up broken, but I got it for I think like close to 50% off at Sephora, so I wasn't gonna complain. I was just gonna shut up and buy it, you know. I did not complain at all. But this palette is stunning, and this is what made me started checking for Lunar Beauty whenever they like launch something. I was like, okay, hold up, Manny launched something. Hold please. Next we have Eternal Eclipse, and this again, it's definitely more of my aesthetic and color story. You got all these cool grungy shimmery shades at the top, and then my cool grungy mattes at the bottom. But then if I need to do an emergency neutral look, I can use these. And surprisingly, this shade I thought wasn't going to be that deep, but it was actually pretty deep on my skin tone. I was like, okay, Manny, I see you. Okay. So I really like this palette. This would be a definitely go-to smoky palette for me. It's just really nice in tone, and I am here for it. So thank you, Manny, and you. I'm here for it. I love it. It's a vibe. So the last one I have to talk about is Playing in Makeup by Yolanda. Now I meant to show the palette I truly love. The palette I truly love is called Jamrock No Limitations. That's her grungy color story that she has going on. But I had this little quad here, so I figured I'd show you this. This is from her, the Formula collection, and she's having Formula Part 2 collection coming up. So I will definitely be trying to keep my eyes out for that and grab it. I'm hoping to get the Relentless palette for Christmas. I told one of my friends I wanted it. So I was just like, yes, I'm hoping she gets it for me, because I tried to get it myself on Black Friday and it was not having it. The pre-order was gone. I was like, oh, okay. But her formula is really nice. This is Protonic Pinks. So this is what it looks like. It definitely is great quality. The only thing I don't like about these is she put pressed glitters in, I think, just about every single one of them. And y'all know how I feel about pressed glitters. I don't want any part of them. So I was upset about that. But the formula of all her other shades are nice. And as a general rule, I've noticed in her palette she doesn't really have pressed glitters. I think she had the palette dedicated to pressed glitters though. So if you want that, you can have that. I don't personally want that. But I mean, I appreciate the fact that she, you know, didn't put them in more palettes. She just was like, hey, everybody don't want pressed glitters. She realized everybody didn't want pressed glitters, so she made a palette with just pressed glitters. I'm just hoping those new quads that she's coming out with, or 6 pans she's coming out with, don't have pressed glitters in them too, because then I'm gonna be feeling some type of way, and that way is upset. Okay, now we're gonna get into some of my favorite YouTube collabs of this year. So I got an honorable mention, of course, because so many YouTubers came out with so many palettes. Now I don't know, I'm pretty sure this palette came out last year, because I bought it on box day from whose website? I think it was either Be Perfect's website or where's that place? Beauty Bay. But this is the Be Perfect Carnival 3 Love Tahiti palette from Stacey Marie and Be Perfect. I had to have this palette. When I saw the colors in it, I was like, it's huge. I don't even care. Like, look at this. Y'all see how many blues, sorry, how many purples and pinks are in here? Now, this side did disappoint me, like the blues and the greens kind of disappointed me. No, sorry, it wasn't the blues and greens. It was the purples in here that somewhat disappointed me. Some of them did. But overall, the palette is really nice, and I absolutely love it. I actually have the new Stacey Carnival palette as well. I ended up getting it on sale during Black Friday, because I was like, maybe I'll do a video with it, but it's like, it's been so long, I doubt y'all don't want to see it. But that's my honorable mention palette. Now, let's get into my real palettes. Now, y'all know, one of these, 2 out of these 3 palettes, I feel like you just should have known what's going to be in here. And that's starting off with Miss... Seeing the fancy face in background here with the Hummingbird palette. If y'all remember, I bought 3 of these palettes when it first came out. Yes, you heard me right. I bought 3. One of y'all got it though in the mystery box. So, you know, you can't say nothing to me about having 3, because you got one yourself. So, shh. But I actually used this palette this week. I told y'all I was going to make y'all tired of this palette. Now, I haven't been making y'all as tired of it as I, you know, had planned on it. But y'all know I still have to review other stuff for you too. And you saw my initial review on this. But I still be pulling her out, popping it out. I put this with, I think, Club Nebula. And that's how I made the look. You all saw it on Instagram this week. I really liked that look. I was really happy with the way it turned out. But I'm always, as a general, happy with the looks like turn out of Tina's palette, because it's just a stunning palette. She gave me the dark mattes I needed. She still gave a couple of lighter, brighter mattes. And then she gave a lot of like jewel tone, like shimmers, along with this fun duochrome. So Tina's out here killing it. It was a whole vibing situation. Y'all been talking so long. The battery done died once more. But I've been filming so many videos tonight, so I don't have to film as many tomorrow. So let me go get a battery, and then we can talk about these last 2. But I feel like you should already know Auntie Jackie's palette is going to be here too. How you doing? Thank you. Hope. But yeah, so... classic palette. As you can see, mine is quite dirty in love, just like Tina's palette was dirty in love, because I must use this palette quite a bit. Like, this is easily one of my most used palettes in my collection, just because Auntie Jackie did not come to play. She killed this palette. She killed the color story. I absolutely love it. Like, you got your little neutral corner here for when I'm in the mood for that and I'm in a rush and I need to try to be cute. You got your little purple color in the middle for people like me, and then you got like the little red tone with it. So it's giving like romantic vibes on this side, and then it's giving you everyday wearables on this side. So I was like, thank you, this is what I needed. The color story is definitely like up my alley completely, and I absolutely love this palette. I have 2 of those as well, because I was not playing when it came to Auntie Jackie. Okay, so the last palette I feel like you'll be shocked about, because I was talking so much crap about how long it took to get here. So I feel like you should already know what palette I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Baddie Bean and Trial Cosmetics these freaking Bats palette. But this is one of my favorite collab palettes in my collection. If I could have included more, obviously I would have. Like I would have included both of Net's palettes, and then I would have included Club Nebula. But I could only include so much, and I already cheated by having another one. But those are the like collab palettes that really stood out to me. And what stood out to me about this one is like the weird color story. But you know, like coming from Betty Jean, I wasn't surprised that like this was like somewhat of the color story she came out with. Like I was surprised about this like shade right here somewhat. But like the rest of it, it just totally just screamed her. Like the chartreuse shades in here, like the cool bluish purpley shades in here, like all the rest of it, I was just like, yeah, this totally seems like her. Like this was the only one I was like, that's an interesting like deep matte. I mean, I know she like deep mattes. I just wasn't expecting like this shade right here. But yeah, I'm here for this palette. It was definitely worth my wait. I have used it like 3 or 4 times. And again, if I use the palette 3 or 4 times, with all the palettes I own 51 ColourPop palettes alone, because I just got done ranking all of them. I had 53, but 2 of them broke because they fell off the bed from me like having to try to stack them all up and put them all in order. So the fact that I have 53 just ColourPop palettes alone, and I use that one like 3 or 4 times, I feel like that should tell you how good it is. Because I don't get to use palettes that often and that much, but it's just, you know, it was good. What can I say? Next, we're going to go into my makeup artist palettes. So, like, brands that are owned by makeup artists. I have an honorable mention for that, too, of course, because I can't just, you know, have a normal amount of palettes there. I have to be extra. So, my honorable mention is going to be Dose of Colors. So I really like their palettes and their the last 2 palettes they came out with, these 2. I definitely like them. I gave y'all looks with both of them. From what I remember, I did Cutting Edge and Smoky Soirees. This one right here is the Cutting Edge, and the Smoky Soiree is this one. I felt like I had to add a little extra to them though, because it's like the red wasn't as vibrant as I wanted it to be in this one, but the rest of the colors were fine. And then like I feel like there wasn't a deep enough green in here from what I wanted, or a bright enough green for what I wanted, so I had to add in here. That's why I'm saying they're honorable mentions, because if I entered Desi and Katie's palette, then you know, that wouldn't have been like fair. And I tried to name palettes that were still out when it came to the collab palettes. Like you can get Jackie's palette now during the holidays, so that, and that's when I'm filming this video, so that's why it's in there. Tina's palette you can still get as of right now. I know you can't get a Nets anymore, which is another reason I didn't put hers in here. And then the Baddie Bean, when they said that they're gonna keep it as long as people want it. So I'm thinking about getting another one, just because I wanted to say, you know, like who the person actually is. Because if I show the Beauty Bean one now, she's Baddie Bean, people will be like, who the hell is this? I mean, not that people that don't watch her regularly won't know, but other people might look it up under that name and then find out it's wrong. So I'm thinking about getting another one just for that reason, and then selling that one on Bakerie or giving it to like one of my friends, probably Jackie, to see if she'd want it. So I don't know, but anyway, we got Patrick Ta to start off with. So I feel like y'all know this was going to be in here too. I live, breathe, anything Patrick Ta. I am here. I am available. My nose is open and I'm like, where is it? Like with that blush palette, when I couldn't get it and everybody else was going in there Sephora and get it, I was pissed. I was like, where is it? Like, Patrick, why can everyone else get it? Like, what, do you not like Chicago? What did we do to you? Did we run you out the way we ran Donald Trump out? Like, why can't I have the palette? Anyway, this is what the palette looks like. Now, you're probably shocked because it's neutral. But what I like about it is the part that just popped open like the cream. I like that cool effect that he gave, because I feel like that's a good base. And then if I want to put like one of these mattes on top of it, it's giving that extra pigmented base to go along with it. And I didn't find these creams to crease either, which was another thing I liked, because I was scared that they were going to crease. I didn't know how they were going to be. But they turned out to be really nice. So when it comes to like a neutral palette, I definitely would pick this one up, especially since they're having a 20% off Sephora sale right now. Now, when y'all see this video, that sale gonna be over, so don't be looking at me sideways. They sent you an email just like they sent me one. Anyway, I really like this palette. I think it's nice, and I'm happy that I went and picked it up. Now, the shimmers are more topper-esque, so just keep that in mind. If you're not a huge topper-esque person, you might not like that aspect of it, but otherwise I feel like it's a really good palette. The mattes are solid. The like I said, that unique cream is what drew me to it, and I am here for it. Ooh. Sorry, y'all, those cream bronzers and stuff to drop. I still got to do top 3 category for my drugstore blush, bronzer, and highlighters, but I decided to do the eyeshadow filming first, and I'll do that one tomorrow. So next I have the Mented Cosmetics, what is it, Mora es Mariposas palette. I gave y'all a look with this one. I want to use this one some more for sure. I just realized the inside of this box is velvet. I did not realize that until now. Okay. Talk about detail. Look at that, y'all. Like the inside of the box is velvet. Okay, Melt, I see you with all this bougie packaging. This is what the inside of the palette looks like. There's a whole bunch of hummingbirds around a heart and some butterflies. And I'm so excited that they're coming out with bigger pans. Bigger palettes. To me, I told y'all in the other video, it looks like they just put what do you call it? Some of what's it, Sheets and Parties, and then they put the baby girl stack in here, and then they put this as the brunette, like a lighter version of the brunette palette. And then this is just like the smoke sessions for people who like all those tones in one palette. That's what this palette made me think of when I saw it. I was just like, oh, okay, so we just put all our favorite palettes in there together for the people who didn't buy it. But you know, I'm fine with it. I like the color story. I like the formula of this. I think this was a really nice holiday release, and I hope to see more palettes like this in this size from them. Like when they do the baby girl stack, hopefully they'll give us some more like that, and they can give us some more like shifting shades. Like I'm waiting for them to make the shapeshifter palette in a palette, to be perfectly honest. Like, what are y'all doing over there? Make the shapeshifter palette already and the baby girl's palette. Make those next year. Can you do that? Melt Cosmetics, I need you to do that. Okay, so if you didn't know, those two women that own Melt Cosmetics were makeup artists, which is why Melt Cosmetics got put in this category as opposed to the indie category, because I feel like they're like super popular now, so they're not necessarily indie, but I feel like since they're kind of on the higher end, they're not necessarily high end either. So I was like, well, what category do I put this in? But I guess I could have put them in high end and it'd been fine. I don't know. But since I had a makeup artist category, I put them there. Anyway, the last makeup artist palette I have is Made by Mitchell. This is Feet on the Ground. This is the one I really wanted when I first bought them, but they had a bundle and I think they were like 50% off, and you got the pouch with it too, so that's why I went ahead and just got both of them. I'm waiting on the Do You Want Some Milk palette to show up, because it was 50% off during like Cyber Monday, I believe, so I ended up buying it then. But since, you know, he's in the UK, it's taking a while to get here. And I'm still waiting on my Glaminatrix palette too, so I'm still gonna have palettes coming next week to do videos with, but I won't be filming Saturday at all because I have to take Adriangameover to go see Spider-Man. So I will film some videos Sunday, since that's my only day off, unless I come here Saturday and like come in early and film. I don't know, but this is what Feet on the Ground looks like. I have used this about 2 or 3 times, so that tells you the quality of it and how much I like it, because again, I just told y'all I own 51 ColourPop palettes, and the fact that I got to reach for this 2 or 3 times says a lot about the quality of it. It is stunning. I want to do a video on my most used eyeshadow palettes because I haven't done that in a while, so let me know if you all are interested in that. But this is what this one looks like. Only thing I'll say is I always feel like his color stories are scattered and I have to figure out what I want to do with it. Like, I think I did a look with these once, and then I think I did a look with like this and some other stuff before. I don't remember, but I feel like I just have to do a lot to figure out what to do with his palettes. That's my only downside with him. And then like the background was scattered and crazy. If it was a plain background, then maybe it'd help a little better, but it's a chaotic mess and it's a beautiful color story, which is why I liked it. But Head in the Clouds is a little too difficult for me to figure out, so I just kind of like leave it to its own. Now on to my next honorable mention set. The funny thing is, the rest of these palettes, the indie brand category, like all of them have like the same color story. So I was like, okay, so I really like when indie does this, apparently, because like all 3 of them are the same, I'm telling y'all. Anyway, my honorable mention is another Oden's Eye palette, because if you already know, Tina's palette was Oden's Eye, and this is the skewed palette from Oden's Eye. I think I'm saying that right. It's SKULD. When I first saw this, I was like, yes, give it to me. Like, it's just a gorgeous shimmery palette. So it has this weird, unique periwinkle-ish looking shade, and then you have like green, and then you have like this bluish purple, then you have these 2 lighter shades in the middle, and then you still have this lighter tone right here. So I really love this color story the first time I saw it. I didn't buy it when this collection initially came out, because this came out with the Norns palette from what I remember, but I did not buy it immediately just because I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I ended up pairing this, I think, with Tina's palette one day when I did a look, and it looked simply stunning, so that's why I had to include it. I should have just included with Tina's, but it wasn't a collab palette, so that's why I didn't get to go there. Okay, so all 3 of these palettes I feel like you shouldn't be surprised about when it comes to what brand you're seeing it from. I'm going to start off with now they're called the Unearthly Cosmetics Not Normal palette, but when I bought it, as you can see, it was Alien Cosmetics. I have a whole ranking video on all their palettes, but at the time they were Alien Cosmetics, not Unearthly Cosmetics. So when you look it up, it's going to be Alien Cosmetics, even though now they're Unearthly Cosmetics. Sorry, that was a whole thing, but I want to make sure you get it right for when you go shopping there. And use code Cage Makeup. Thank you so much. But this, I mean, I feel like this is a good example of a color story that fits me. I got my green, I got my weird yellowy mustardy poopy shades, I got my dark outer V shades, including the purple, and then like some nice little dual chromey shimmers. I made a gorgeous look with this palette. If y'all remember when I did my initial video with this, I feel like the look was simply stunning. I absolutely loved it, and I was happy to have this in my collection. I'm happy to have all my MD Cosmetics palette. I'm currently waiting on 2 to show up now. I'm waiting on the fall one, and then I'm waiting on the reformulated Poison Apple palette to show up. The next palette I have is from Mented Cosmetics, and if you all know me, you know what my favorite Mented Cosmetics palette is besides Annette's Makeup Corners palette. It is the Flight Club palette. Y'all, this purple palette kills it. Like, when I think of a purple palette, I think about this, I think about Violet, and I think about, there's another one. Oh, the wine palette from Glam Light. I also think about my ColourPop It's My Pleasure and Lilac You a Lot. So I have a few purple palettes that I reach for, but this I would easily say is like my top one. I love this palette. It is just, I mean, look at how stunning it is. It's just, you can't, I love the different tones because I like that they put wine colored shades in here in addition to purples, just so it's not just a typical monochromatic purple palette. I can appreciate that, like this shade right here, and this shade right here, and then that shade up there, and then you got a couple of like mauve lighter tones too, like these mauvier mattes that go well with purple. So I feel like they just did an extra job with this. So when they said they were getting rid of the violet ink, I was sad, but when then they replaced it with this, I was like, okay, I'm fine now. I'll be just fine. I love this palette, so I am so glad to have it in my collection. Now the last one I have, y'all know we wasn't gonna get through an indie section of indie makeup without having my Ninhydrin palette from Adept. Y'all know I live for Adept Cosmetics. Like, the shimmers from them are just everything. Whenever I don't have an exact shimmer I want as far as the look goes, I know I can go to one of their like heavily shimmered palettes and get what I was looking for as far as that extra sparkle and glimmer in the eye look that I want. So this is just my favorite of all the ones. Although I do like the Plain Jane Anniversary shade Irish West. It is stunning. But this, if I had to pick one palette from Adept to buy, it's easily Ninhydrin. Ninhydrin is just perfect. It has all those blue, green, and purple shimmers in it that I live for, that we all know I live for. So that's why it was easily the palette that I picked for this. But if you notice, there's a theme of like purple running through it for the most part. Well, the Alien Cosmetics one is a little more grungy, but still, like, it's a good theme of that going on. So we have made it to the end. We are at my affordable and drugstore palette. So one of them is a drugstore palette because you can buy LA Girl at your drugstore, and then the other two are affordable because you can't buy BH Cosmetics at your drugstore. So let's get into it. So I'm gonna start off with the drugstore one. This is the LA Girl Desert Dreams Backstage palette. Sorry, Main Stage Backstage palette. So only thing I hate about them is their shimmers break easily. So that one broke easily on me. But look how stunning this palette is. I mean, just look at it. This is like my dream color store. There's blue, there's green, there's purple. They even got some pinks for me to use. And then like they gave you this dark black outer V shade, but they still gave you some like lighter mattes to go with it. So it's like I can start off with this one and then deepen it up with this one to make it look the way I want to. This is a simply stunning palette. I absolutely love it. So I had to include it. Y'all know I'm about these blues, greens, and purples. I feel like that would go really well with the Ninhydrin palette, like as far as the mattes from there, and then like use the shimmers from the Ninhydrin palette. I feel like that would be a beautiful look. So the next palette I have, of course, is the Blueberry Muffin. Y'all know I live for a blueberry moment because it's just stunning. If y'all don't know, I live for blues, greens, and purples. If you're new, blues, greens, and purples are just the thing I love. So needless to say, this color story is just everything to me. Like I live for the shade Cheat Day. They got some really nice shimmers in here. Like I like the shade Yummy here. And then the shade Hot and Fresh. So good. Like it's just so many beautiful shades in here. But then they gave you like more purplish, neutral, matte shades as opposed to just giving you like, you know, a black. They still gave you black for the people who want a black. It's a sequin shimmery shade. But this just seems to be like a more of an eggplant, purplish bluish shade that's just really interesting and unique that I love out of this palette because I feel like it does so well with the other blues they put in here. So whoever makes blue palettes for them, like I said, and ColourPop does an excellent job because I love every blue palette they come out with, including this one we're about to talk about now, which is the Passion in Paris palette. So again, another beautiful color story. See, I got my blues, then you still got like some berryish tones, and you still got some nice purples, and you got like a little neutral row here for if I want to have a nice soft mauve moment. So this palette is just as wonderful to me as the Blueberry Muffin. Like this and Blueberry Muffin are just like equally favorites of mine that I absolutely love. So I would definitely recommend that you get your hands on either one of these. I actually gave you all this in the recent giveaway I did. I gave you this one, and I gave you the, what was the other one? The Party in Puerto Rico, which I actually have sitting over here next to me for a main chick side chick video that I need to do. But yeah, we are finally done with all the palettes for 3 in each category for all the categories I named. So yeah, this was long enough. I'm tired as hell. I'm about to wash this makeup off and go to bed, and then we'll shoot some more videos tomorrow. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.